More now on the conflict in Iraq. It's triggered a huge humanitarian crisis with hundreds of thousands of people fleeing the violence. Our Middle East correspondent Shireen Tadros spoke to us earlier from Kalak, halfway between Erbil and Mosul.
It's been quite a day here at the crossing, to be honest with you. Don't let those few cars behind me fool you, because this road has just been blocked off by Kurdish forces. They've erected a checkpoint just a few meters in front of me, and what's happening is that they're letting the cars trickle in one by one, because about an hour ago there was a huge fight where the border crossing is. People here are tired, they're frustrated, and they are looking for safety. I've been asking some of the people who have come in the last hour, because there really has been an influx in the last hour and a half, 2 hours or so, why they are fleeing Mosul, whether there's any fighting there. And they're telling me that there isn't any fighting. It's actually quite quiet in the town today. Why they're leaving is because they really do believe that an assault by the Iraqi army is coming. And they've seen in the past that when the Iraqi forces launch a counter-assault against Islamist militants, it can be quite bloody and quite indiscriminate. And that's why they're here. And we are hearing the story time and time again from the people that we're speaking to inside of these camps, that the frustration and the blame is firmly at the doorstep of the Iraqi government. I'm hearing people talking about Prime Minister Nouri al-Maliki, blaming him for what is happening, saying that he has sown sectarianism amongst the people, blaming him for the economic situation. And with every passing refugee and internally displaced person that we see, we can feel the anger mounting towards the government.
Well, we're joined now by the national security analyst, Arash Aramesh, who's at Stanford University in California. Very good to speak to you, Arash. Thanks very much for joining us. Is this now a security crisis for President Obama? And if yes, how likely is it, do you think, that America will put military boots on the ground?
This is a direct challenge to stability in the Mideast and the region. We see large parts of northeast and eastern Syria now under ISIS control, and also large segments of Iraq, western Iraq, and some parts of northern Iraq under ISIS control. Let me just tell your viewers that ISIS is an organization that is so bad that even Al-Qaeda decided to distance themselves from them and say, hey, stop killing our leaders and we're no longer associated with you. So is this a threat to American national security? Absolutely. And is this a real crisis in terms of regional stability and security? Of course it is. Committing U.S. boots to the ground, it's unlikely. This president has really tried to stay away from committing American boots to the ground. But there can be some targeted aerial strikes. There can be some drone strikes. The president can deploy American air assets to hit some target packages on the ground. But also, America's involvement in the region, America's involvement supporting the Iraqi military and the Iraqi armed forces could perhaps prevent the future involvement of other regional powers and players, such as Iran or Saudi Arabia, on either side's behalf.
Arash, I was going to ask you about Iran, actually. The sectarian divisions, as they are, mean that we get this somewhat bizarre situation where we could now see Iranian troops, or Iran anyway, and America on the same side now against these Sunni insurgents.
Al-Qaeda and its offshoots and now the ISIS have impassed and now created some really, really odd and strange bedfellows. Iran and the United States view Al-Qaeda and its offshoots, such as the very violent ISIS, as direct threats, both ideologically, strategically, and also to their national interests. So do the United States and Iran want to see a stop to ISIS gains on the ground in Iraq? Absolutely. But Iran has certain ideological gains that it wants Again, the U.S. is very interested in maintaining stability in Iraq and also making sure that Baghdad doesn't fall. And this doesn't really turn into a real Islamic state of Iraq and Syria. So I'm not sure to what extent the two countries are going to cooperate. But we heard today that President Obama, said that all options are on the table. He is willing to take action. Secretary of State John Kerry said that the president is willing to take quick and decisive measures against this threat. And we heard the Iranian president, Hassan Rouhani, say that this is a threat and a challenge to Iran and regional security, and the Iranians are willing to support the government of Prime Minister Nouri al-Maliki. We have to see to whom Prime Minister Nouri al-Maliki is going to reach out. He's already requested support from the United States, and the U.S. government and the government of Maliki have been on direct and continuous contact in the past couple of days. We got to see how this is all going to roll out. But to allow Baghdad to fall, which is an unlikely outcome, but again, to allow Baghdad to come under siege and to fall is a real blow to regional stability and security.
Arash, just very briefly now, Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi, the ISIS leader, we're hearing a little bit more about him now. Has he been on the US radar for a long time?
Yes and no. This guy joined Al-Qaeda in Iraq back when Al-Qaeda started fighting U.S. forces on the ground after the U.S.-led invasion of Iraq. When U.S. and coalition forces killed the leader of Al-Qaeda at the time, Abu Musab al-Darqawi, he pretty much became the de facto leader operator of what was Al-Qaeda in Iraq. His name, Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi, Abu Bakr of Baghdad, and that's his battlefield name. So he's been very good. He hasn't shown his pictures. He hasn't shown his face. Even when he does videos, he doesn't do Osama bin Laden style videos. He doesn't show his face. There's only one picture of him that we know of, and that has been released by the Iraqi Interior Ministry. Has he been on U.S. radar? Yes. He's been very active in organizing jihadis in Syria to fight the government of Bashar al-Assad and other opposition forces. He's an effective battlefield commander and has done a good job not to get nailed by security forces from the region and also by the United States. We have to see how long, though, he can maintain this. And also, we got to make sure that these parts of Iraq and Syria don't turn into jihadistan. This is what these guys are after. And again, they're after an Islamic state in the broader Levant, Syria, Iraq, and other parts of the Middle East region.
Arash, we have to leave it there. Arash Aramesh, many thanks for your thoughts this morning. Thank you.